This is my 2016 KLR 650. I'll go over some of the modifications I've done to it. I'll start on the front here. I added a Supermoto front fender to help with the wobble in the wind that was coming from the bigger front fender. I put on this Eagle mic fork brace. Added Cogent Dynamics internals to the forks. It's a spring, valve, and up at the top here there's a adjuster, which I don't really use. I got it dialed in. I've never had to adjust it. I got this windshield riser. Can't actually remember who makes that. I think I got it from Rocky Mountain ATV, if I remember right. It's got LED headlight bulbs, which were a big improvement. I added these double take mirrors, which they're great. They've taken some really hard hits and I've never broke one. I got ram mounts all over the bike for just different accessories depending on what I need at the time. I added this lower dash here. Got it from the same place as this place, I believe. It just has some USB ports for charging my devices. On the mirrors, I also added these wideners here just to get them out a little farther. I'm kind of wide. Added these Tusk D-Flex hand guards here. Also added these control levers here. I'm not sure what the brand of them is, but they're pretty awesome. They're really adjustable. I got the Tusk Fat Bar, which is basically the same thing as the Pro Taper. Works just as good. I've never bent one. And then down here I got the Rocks risers on that, and a steering dampener that required quite a bit of machining and welding to get it to work, but it's great now. Adds a lot of stability to the suspension of the bike. Down here I added these Tusk crash bars, which they've taken some good hits and held up just fine. Got a Ricochet skids plate, IMS shifter. I got lowering brackets for the pegs, and I'm not sure the pegs, they are Tusk pegs. They're great. They're pretty wide compared to stock. I got a 14-tooth sprocket. I added a cigarette lighter adapter here for my compressor. I added this little deal here for jump starting the bike, which I've never had to do, but if I ever have to do it, it'll make it a lot easier. I got a Cogent Moab rear shock. I disabled the Kickstarter switch. I also disabled the clutch switch up top. That's about it for here. It's got a Corbin low seat on it. Pretty nice. I changed, what did I do back here? Where the license plate mounted on, I took all that off and moved it up to the top here. I put a Lex exhaust on it. This is the seat here. It's a Corbin seat. Helped a lot with being able to get my feet on the ground. That with the lowered pegs all work together. If you lower the peg, you gotta modify the rear brake a little bit, but it's pretty easy. Drilled out the sides of the airbox cover, and with the exhaust and that, I had to rejet the carb. I did the carb has a KLX needle. The slide is drilled. It's rejetted, and I added a couple other things to it here and there. Some Harley parts actually, just to make adjusting it easier. I added this aluminum oil filler cap for some reason. You can see these bars have taken some pretty hard hits and they've held up pretty well. Even with the bar, I punched a hole in the bike there, but it still works. It doesn't need to be replaced. And I think that's about everything I've done to it. I probably missed a couple things, but that's about it.